It says going live. I guess we're live.
I'm alive.
Hi, everybody. I'm
Hello
Jerry.
there. I'm Linda.
We're the Newcomers, and it's our Wednesday Night Live. And we're sitting here in our kitchen. We've just been joined by the talented Peter Bernard. He's over here waiting for his cue, and he'll be on with us here shortly to talk about all things villages. And, of course, Peter stars in Bubble Wrap, as you all know. Matchy, that's us, Sandra. And there's Sue. Hi, Sue. Thank you for joining.
We're not playing this.
We didn't plan it.
No.
First on tonight was Kyle Reed. Kyle, thank you for joining us. You're always so enthusiastic. We appreciate that. Hot day today.
It was hot. You know, we got in the car and the temperature in the car said 82. And he goes, really? It seems like it's 92.
I was hot. I was hot. My hair was hot. Look how white my hair is. I'm getting gray.
I think
Linda was making fun of me today. She said, you need a haircut. We're getting ready to go to a wedding. And this is my wedding look right here.
You should have had a haircut.
This is how I'm going to look. If I got a haircut, it would be all buzzed. It'd be tight on the sides.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be looking very good.
So you think you're looking really good?
I think I look okay. I mean, it's as good as I can look. I mean, you can't do any better than that.
Oh.
But so many of our great viewers and friends here online. Some of them that got here early were Gary Winkle, hi, and Cheryl. And we got Sandra from down under. She was eating her breakfast all the way down in Tasmania. How's that for a viewership? All the way down in Tasmania.
Yeah, South Carolina. Well, this is
Tasmania is in Australia.
I'm just saying hello to some other people.
I know you are. Linda and Alan are here, and Barbara and Rick are here from Oklahoma. So it's great to see everybody. Jay Ryback, he's here to lend a little relief. He's a comedy guy. Hey, Roger, thanks for sending that pet of the week. We won't use it this week, or maybe not next week, but we'll get to it in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Adam and Christy from Maine. Yeah.
Adam, how you doing?
Yeah.
Adam was under the weather a little bit there. Or maybe it was
Christy was under the weather.
One of them was under.
Yeah.
But Sandra was farther under.
Better.
Yeah. And there's Zippy. Hi, Zippy. Well, we're getting ready to go to that wedding. We're going to go to the St. Louis area and marry off our third son.
They're flying the nest.
We're happy about that. I could talk about it because he doesn't watch our channel.
No, our kids don't watch.
Nah. Christy, yeah, that's right. Linda does want me shorn.
I do. I like the high and
shorn.
Shorn?
Mm-hmm. From Colorado's in the house. We got a lot of good folks here. I appreciate that. It's nice, clear weather. We need rain. Our ponds are
dry.
Are looking shabby.
Super dry.
Especially the ponds down south of 44. I thought, we call that great.
Mm-hmm.
Cape Cod's in the house. Hi, Mary Lou. Thank you for joining us. And Glenn, that's a famous name. That's a football star's name from Notre Dame, or maybe his Army. Yeah, Glenn Davis. What's on your mind? Anything you want to talk with them about?
No. I'm just, anxious. We're going to fly out tomorrow morning, and then we'll be gone for 4 days.
You just told the world our home is going to be vacant.
Yeah, so you know where we live. Oh, no. But anyway.
We got it taken care of. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we do. And then we do a babysitting jaunt
yeah, we're going to be busy for a little while.
So busy 9 days here.
Yeah. There's Mike down there in DeLuna. Hi, Mike. Hello to Lynn. Mark Miller. Yeah, Mark Miller says his ponds are now beachfront property.
There you go.
Yeah, we can build on those. The yards are a little parched. We need that rain. We'll have our meteorologist on here in just a little bit to talk about the next time you're going to get some good rain.
Yeah.
June 13th.
June 13th, he says. Don't forget, tonight there's a huge prize giveaway. Tonight we're giving away one of the bigger ones, a $50 gift certificate to Lowe's, and you can go over there and get your nuts, bolts, and screws. Maybe you
get some new plants since the other ones are dying.
Get some flowers, some weed be gone, or whatever you need. But
sure.
Thank you to Lowe's for sending us this gift certificate to a gift card to give out.
Judy said she just got back from Scooples. I love Scooples. We haven't been there for a long time. That's where we met Mike and Mary, our dear friends. We went to Scooples together. So
Joy's in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
All right.
What? We're going to give away a prize. Let me tell you the rules. Okay. There will be 3 questions divided throughout the program today. You write down the answer to the first question, then you write down the second one. And then when the third one comes, you can call in immediately. And if you're the first person to supply all 3 correct answers after I ask the questions, then you can win that gift card. And we've had winners every single week.
Yes.
So it's great. I can't wait.
But the second question is usually kind of a little bit more tricky.
We have a musical question tonight where you will sing. Yeah, come on, Sheldon. Sheldon Picklick, with a name like that, you should have been a professional singer. You have to sing 2 lines of the song after I give you a line. Sing the next 2 lines. It'll be fun, I promise. We have 250 people online right now, so we'll get to that a little later. 3 questions, remember, write them down. But we'll get some other questions too, just some fun questions to keep it rolling, and you'll learn a little bit, hopefully have a little fun along the way. I'll give you one right now. You know, have you heard about fathoms? Fathoms are measurements of water, like in the ocean. How many fathoms deep?
Okay.
Do you know what a fathom is? Some of you know. Some of you are reaching for your Googler right now, and you're Googling. But you don't have to do that because we're not giving any prize for this question.
This isn't part of your realm.
No.
Okay.
Does anybody know how deep 1 fathom would be? Roger Bennett didn't know. He said depth. We rock. Paul says we rock. Thank you, Paul. Gary got it. Jay Ryback has it. Look, we got a pop-up on our screen. Don't you hate those?
So he said 6 feet.
It's 6 feet.
Right?
A fathom is 6 feet. Very good.
You're a fathom. I'm going to call you fathom.
I'm a little more than a fathom tall. All right. That's good. That's good. And learning new things keeps you younger, doesn't it? There's Jim. He won the prize last week. Jim, I got to tell you, I would disqualify you from winning a prize for a while anyway, because you're too smart. I also disqualified our buddy Mike for calling in. He knew the answer, but it would look like an inside job if a friend won it.
Yeah.
Peter, you cannot win the prize tonight.
I understand.
Well, can you tell a story about what happened in college when you were on the radio? Jerry was on a radio in college at Ball State University, and you were called, you had a name. No, I can't tell you the name. Never mind. Anyway.
It's too nasty.
It wasn't nasty, but it would tell too much about him. But anyway.
Jay says Peter's a winner.
Yes, he is.
Jace is a winner too. Jace is an entertainer. Jace, we're going to be out of town when you're here, buddy.
I want to tell you more of the story.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, he was on the radio, and he would do some kind of a contest, and whoever would third caller call in, get a free pizza. Guess who got the free pizza a lot? Me.
We rigged it every once in a while in college, but in college you don't know any better, because I like pizza.
And I did too. Oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Linda says, Judy, he didn't say the first question. No, not the first question for the contest. That was just a question for fun. And that was how many feet is a fathom? It was 6. Right. But I have another question for you. So don't worry. Without looking it up, how many of you know, and I know there are not many of you that do, a couple of you do. What is the state bird of Florida? What is the state bird of Florida? Peter doesn't know. I didn't know.
Sandpiper.
I guessed one while ago, and it was wrong.
Mosquito, Roger.
Good.
I like that. That could be it.
Good answer.
Spring finally sprung wherever Tori Ann and Bruce are in Rhode Island.
Glenn's got it.
It is the mockingbird.
The mockingbird.
Glenn and Google got that answer.
I think it should be flamingo.
You ever seen a flamingo?
No, but I.
You ever seen a mockingbird?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's the state bird.
Yeah, we have seen the mockingbird.
Best pizza in TV, Carl. That would be TV, by the way, is the Villages. It's an abbreviation. Some people think that
I don't know.
Stavros is good. You could ask some of these folks here because it depends where you're from. If you like Chicago pizza, you like one. If you like New York pizza, you like another one. Right. Linda likes a real thin crust pizza. I like a more thick.
No, like bread. It fills you up too much.
Well, I like bread with an equal amount of spaghetti, not spaghetti, I don't put
sauce.
spaghetti on my pizza, but
No.
sausage and
Yeah.
pepperoni and green onions and pepper.
I think Roberto's has a good pizza. We had it before. It's really good.
NYPD pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Karen Goodwin said the alligator is a state bird here.
Yeah. We saw an alligator yesterday chomping on a fish, and it was just, it was happening.
It's been a long day, but that was today.
It was today?
Yeah, it was today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was eating a big old fish. I'd like to catch a fish that big.
He was chomping.
Roberto's Pizza. Hey, we'll save this.
Thread.
Hey, how come there's only 267 people? We should have a lot more than that. Come on.
Did you
Call your friends. If your husband and wife they're watching, run down the street yelling that we're on the air and get a video of that and send it in.
Andy, where's Donato's Pizza? What's that say?
I don't know. Donato's Pizza.
Andy Smith, tell me where that place Donato's is. Is that in the Villages?
Peggy, you like Canadian bacon. We don't call it that here. We call it American bacon. That's a joke.
Paisanos.
That was a joke.
Paisanos
Paisanos is probably our favorite
That's
pizza.
really good. That's
Yeah,
really good.
You're getting shorter. Is that cushion giving out?
I'm getting.
No, she's flattening that old cushion down. Look at this. She's getting lower and lower.
Yeah, see, I stopped my 40 days of Lent and my sugar, giving up sugar, and I'm gaining my 3 pounds back. Oh, because I started having cream in my coffee, and oh man, it's not good.
Jace has this deal with us. He's such a good guy. He donated $20 to our cause here, which we really appreciate. Thank you, Jace, for doing that. But Jace knows when next time we see him play, we're putting that $20 right back in his tip jar. And Jace is good. If you were ever here, Jace, we'd have you on some night.
Yeah, come play for us. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, of entertainment.
Now, Marjorie's from New Jersey. They have the best pizza there. So that's what Chris Christie said. He said you had the very best pizza in New Jersey.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's had a few. All right, where are we? Okay, now this is a cool bit of trivia.
Trivia.
Thank you, Kyle. You're always so nice. And Kyle, you spent a lot of time here in the Villages, so we would like to talk to you someday. Did you know this is going to be something you want to tell everybody? You know, almost 300 people here now. Is your husband back yet? Or is he still running down the street? Jerry and Linda are on. Jerry and Linda are on. It's like Paul Revere.
That's right. Do it.
Did you know that coconuts kill more people every year than sharks?
What?
Coconuts falling out of trees kill an average of 150 people a year, and sharks only kill 5 to 10.
Oh, my.
So you ought to ease up on the sharks and start giving the coconuts a hard time.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
You know,
just walking along. Oh, it's great to be on our vacation. It's so beautiful here. Conk. Oh.
And then you're out.
He's dead.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Gosh.
Thank you, Charles. And how are you? Peter.
Peter's over on the couch.
It's true.
Comment.
It's true.
Oh my
God. Thank you. Yeah, if you hit that thumbs up, it's great. 100 of you have hit that, and probably 75 have hit the thumbs down button.
What?
So we've got to have a lot more thumbs up than thumbs down. But, no.
Well,
do you know what? Forever Huff's Living says, how many fell out of a tree trying to get a coconut?
that would be.
You ever shimmy up a tree to get those coconuts? It's hard on your thighs.
Yeah, I'm sure you've done that.
Yeah. It chafes you really bad when you do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love coconuts. Some people can't stand it. What's up with that?
Yeah, Jerry loves a white.
You ever have a
coconut
Mounds bar or an Almond Joy?
cake. Oh my gosh,
Or a
favorite.
coconut cake? Oh, I love it.
Well, the clue to having that cake is the cream de cocoa milk. The milk, that goes in there. It's delicious.
And what is that again?
I want to say cream de cocoa.
The
but
creme de
I don't know
coco.
what it's called.
I don't think it's cocoa, is it? That was chocolate.
Coconut milk. I don't know. Cream of coconut milk. It comes in a can and it's not cheap.
Well, we're just about to introduce our special guest this week. I have one more bit of trivia for you, and it's a little bit sad, really. It's the average lifespan in the United States. Do you know what the average lifespan is?
No.
Paul said more people die from Coke machines falling on you than shark bite.
Coke machine?
I believe it. The sharks should get a bad rap. And hang on, speaking of rap, he's going to be over here in just a minute.
Oh, that was a good one.
The average lifespan is 78.4. But did you know that women are averaging about almost 6 years more lifespan than men? But 78, I mean, we've got only 8 more years to go.
I'm going to throw a coconut at you.
She's going to have me go pick some coconuts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Chris, you're just about right. 78, 79, 77. That's all in the ballpark. And that's a sad ballpark, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what lowers that? Young people that die with car wrecks, drug overdose, firearms. Those were the 3 big causes for deaths in young people. Firearms, car wrecks, and drug overdoses.
Yeah, it's sad.
We measure out our drugs to the safe limit. Don't worry.
Gosh, you're getting weird on me. You're just getting weird.
As you get older, you take more drugs. Y'all take pills in the morning? Do you have one of those containers for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Oh, yeah.
And some of you have an AM and a PM. And heaven forbid you have an AM, midday, and then PM.
There are people that
Oh,
do.
my Lord.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We used ours so much we broke the little tops off of them. You ever do that? You open and shut them so much you break the little top off. Bubble wrap. What can we do? Bubble, come on over here. Peter Bernard, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Give him a little bit of love. Come on, Peter Bernard.
I don't have a mic. Do I just speak?
No, we just speak it.
We're
Oh,
freewheeling.
Got it. Good to see you all. Saw you, was it yesterday down at Sawgrass?
Yeah, that was fun.
Linda, you see you're almost out of the picture?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Come on in there with us.
Yeah, Peter needs to move up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
No,
he
you're
can.
all right, Peter. Hey,
Get your leg-
whatever you
Gotta
do
get
is
his
fine.
leg in.
All right, sit on your lap.
So Peter is an ex meteorologist. He's an ex newsman, retired TV. We're very lucky to have him on our channel. You know, he's very gracious to do this with us. We appreciate him so much.
I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
And once a meteorologist, always a meteorologist. Or
It's like a
once on
Marine. You're never an
TV.
ex-Marine, right?
That's right. That's right.
Another question that people want to know, Peter, you ever done the news without pants?
I've done it in shorts, but then the bad thing is sometimes they take a wide shot in the studio and you get revealed that you've got shorts on. So I think it was only one time. I have so many stories about TV news. I remember one time I was sick, but there was no one else to do weather. So I came in, and when we'd go to a break, I'd run outside and do my thing and come back in and act all cheery. And I had to put a lot of makeup on because I was sweating and I had no color. Oh, it was bad.
So
Chrissy.
did you have your personal makeup art?
No,
beside
those
you?
days are gone.
Oh,
It was
man.
me and a Max Factor number 4 Cool 5. I always remember the type that I would buy.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Quick story, on my way up here, there was a golf car in a roundabout, and I saw him and I went, I'm seeing things. So I pulled up alongside, I rolled down my window. I said, you know, you're not allowed to be out here. And the guy goes, I know. I don't know what to do. And so I pointed him to, I said, see that sign up there, Sawgrass Grove? Pull in there. You'll get him on the bark. He says, I'm sorry. He says, I don't care, but you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or worse.
Yeah.
Or worse, absolutely.
Last thing I thought I'd see in the roundabout, and I thought I'd seen it all.
Jerry saw something. Didn't you see one going the wrong way in one?
Oh,
once?
we've seen
A
it all
car?
in 6 years
A
here.
car? Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
Peter, Adam Stoudemeyer, he's a friend of ours. He's cruised with us. He saw you on an episode of Interrogation Raw.
Really?
He was on the same show, but a different episode.
Unbelievable. Boy, the reach of the media. I did that probably right after I retired. We shot it at a wedding venue, believe it or not. But there was a tin roof, and berries would fall on the tin roof. So I would answer a question, and we'd hear bong, 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 bong. And the sound guy would go, we have to do that again. So, once you've said something, you're never going to say it the same.
No.
Like when you guys do your retakes,
yes,
you know. So we did it over and over. I was kind of not happy about the whole thing because they interviewed me for about an hour, and I think I was on for like 13 seconds.
That's awful.
The story, though, I don't know if you want to get into it. Oh, yeah. It was the 2 sisters that killed their dad. It was really awful. And I was the reporter on it, so they brought me in.
I can't hardly understand you, Peter, because my head looks twice as big as yours. I'm going to scoot back a
I
little.
want you back.
I'm not paying. All I'm doing is looking at how big my head is. Oh, look at this.
That's better.
Wow.
That's better.
Now we look like, let's see it. See it? Just like that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm on a pillow.
You guys sing?
No.
I know there's going to be some singing later. I'm looking forward to that.
Let's do our first question. We have 336 in the house. This is our first riddle, and it's an easy one, especially if you're a kindergarten teacher or an elementary school teacher or just a smart person. Riddle question number 1: which does not belong? Yeah, red, yellow, blue, or green. Which does not belong? red, yellow, blue, or green. Mark that down, save it. Do not put it in the whatever those are over there.
Comments.
Yeah. Don't put it over there.
You remember Sesame Street and they'd say one of these things is not like the other.
I remember that.
Take it, Linda.
What?
She was going to finish the song.
No,
right?
no, thank you. You don't.
Yeah, so keep that in mind, and we'll come back to that later on. There's a question for you, Peter. You previously asked about ideas.
Okay.
Since he's a reporting background, he could do man on the street. Ask a question or two at the different town centers. Sure. I mean, he can do it all. Hey, you've seen him, man. He's slick as a whistle.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind.
And I think, I don't forget, it's already scrolled off the screen, but somebody asked, is your wife the cameraman?
Yeah, there are times when she's back in Missouri, which is her home state. She's going back again in a couple of weeks, so I'll be soloing it again. But yeah, she's learning. She's getting the trial by fire lesson on how to shoot. And I have to admit that I'm sometimes a little short, and I'll say, "Did you get a close up of the so and so?" No. And I'm not working with a professional photographer. She is a registered nurse, so I have to kind of back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's just like me. You take what you can get, and she does a great job.
I think so.
Once in a while, there might be a little finger in the lens, but
My
hey.
first one there was, and I think you had to fix it by moving everything in. We had her finger. That's a famous finger, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you see how Peter's here. He's in the studio, so he sees how we do it here, and we're all the way over to there. So we're keeping.
You mentioned man on
here.
the street. That is a term we use in television. We call it MOS. And they'd say to me, go get some MOS on what's going on in Washington, D.C. today. And so I'd have to give people the premise. And I tried to size people up as they were approaching, like down the sidewalk and stuff like that. And I tell you, the old thing where you can't judge a book by its cover? I could not judge people by just sizing them up. Sometimes I'd look at somebody and I'd say to my photographer, oh, they look kind of scroungy. I don't know. And I'd ask them the question. And they'd give me the soundbite that I would use on the 6 o'clock news. And I'd look at the photographer and say, okay, I was wrong again. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
That's good.
There's Rob McKevitt, our buddy on there.
Hey, Rob.
Rob will like this, and Peter will too, although I know what Peter's going to say. Here's one just to throw out for discussion. This is not for the daily questions. This is to stimulate a discussion. What do you think is the most reliable brand of automobile? What do you guys think is the most reliable brand? I've had a little bit of everything throughout my life.
Yeah.
I've had Fords, I've had Chevys, now I have Kia. I had a Carmen Ghia one time.
Wow.
What do y'all think is the most reliable?
That'd be worth a lot of money right now.
Yeah. A true story about my Carmen Ghia. I used to coach baseball, and we didn't play at the school. We played a couple of miles away. So I would haul a few kids every once in a while from there. And I never took the Carmen Ghia. It's a tiny car. Got some kids. We packed it in full of kids, and we're driving. One of the wheels came off.
Oh,
and we saw it was going right down Silver Street. And
that's a problem.
It grunges down to a stop, and we're there, and the bolts the nuts had all fallen off of it, and we got the wheel back, and I didn't have a jack, believe it or not. I was young. The players held the car up, lifted it up while we changed that tire.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's what we did in that little car.
That was last week, by the way.
Yeah, that was.
Gosh, these parents.
47 years ago.
Parents didn't know what they were trusting you with your kids' lives.
Most reliable car, probably not the Carmen Ghia then, right?
The Yugo, Michael Harvey says, yeah, that's a beauty.
Oh my goodness. Remember,
Subaru?
Yeah, Subaru. Subarus are very reliable.
Volvo?
But they're safe. I don't know about reliable, but all right. Volvos are a Chinese car made by Geely now.
Really?
Yep. Geely. Look it up.
That is
Chinese.
dishonest.
Yeah, I know.
Because we think it's Swedish, right?
They bought the brand. Well, some of them are. Yes, they're Swedish origin, but they're owned by Geely. Geely. Yeah.
Toyota's a good car, I think.
Last you a long time. Honda, I think, is very reliable.
There it is. Rex Tree says Tesla, the most economical and reliable.
Well, I didn't want to come out and say that because you know where I'm coming from.
That's right.
I've had 3 of them in my life. I got 2 in the garage now.
Jay says the same thing. And they say they don't need an oil change.
That's correct.
Really?
There's no oil to change. Well, there is some in the crankcase, but it's good for the life of the car. You're going to sell it before you ever have to change it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, David and Sandy. We appreciate that. A Bentley. I've never even seen a Bentley. Although we did see some bodacious cars at the town square night before last.
Yes.
They had a classic, not classic car show, but there were
There's everything.
everything, but they were beautiful cars.
I love
Really.
going to those car shows,
Yeah.
and the owners are sitting right there, and
Yeah.
they love you to look inside and ask them
Yeah.
questions and stuff. We do it for the Tesla Club here in the Villages, and people come up and ask us all kinds of questions. I'm looking forward to it again, especially this year with some of the controversy going around.
Yeah, that's right. Do you?
Jay says the brakes last forever in your Tesla.
Yeah, because you hardly use them. You use regenerative braking every time you take your foot off the accelerator. We don't say gas pedal, by the way. Then the car slows down, and it puts that power back in the battery, and you don't use your brakes.
Marcia is shouting the question to you. You want to take that one?
Marcia, upcoming hurricane season. Oh, we're going to get into that? Okay. What is the most likely landfall area in Florida? There is no most likely landfall area in Florida. We are all subject to being hit by a storm. Obviously, the coastlines.
Yeah.
Here in the Villages, we are insulated. Thank goodness. When I come up here and do your hurricane specials, I'm always happy to say, look, you don't have to do some of the stuff that they do on the coast, but coastlines especially, it seems like it hits the same places all the time, but that's just happenstance. And I used to work in the business, and people would come up to me and say, well, we're going to get hit this year, the Tampa Bay area. And all the years I was there, we never got hit. And then they had 2 last year.
That's right.
They're still recovering. There are places down there, especially the mom and pop hotels and restaurants, that are still not back on their feet.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like to call in and ask Peter a question? If you would, here we are.
Is the phone
Huh?
on? Is the phone on?
Phone's on. Look at this. I've got the scrolling number at the bottom of the screen.
Nothing but high tech here, I'm telling you.
Scrolling number.
Can you grab me a cookie back there while you're
Would you like a water, Peter?
No, I'm good, thank you. There we go.
It worked. Hi, you're on the air with Jerry, Linda, and Peter. Who is it?
Hi, Jerry, Linda, and Peter. This is John and Ginny calling from Virginia.
Oh, hello.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I've been watching your show for, I'm guessing, sometime a little over 5 years.
Oh, well, good for
And
you.
Almost at the start, right?
Been looking at homes for 3 years in the Villages, and we close on our home May 16th.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What village?
So, thank you. We're going to be in Pine Hills.
Okay.
That's our neighbor.
Neighbors.
Yes.
That's why you got your house so cheap.
Say again?
That's why you got your house so cheap. Because your neighbors left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We've got the neighbor.
I don't know if I got it cheap.
No.
And I hope it's not a cheap house either.
Well,
So,
good for you.
but I had something I wanted to say to Peter. Since it was a meteorologist, I spent some time in the Navy and I worked with meteorologists. I actually used to repair all the equipment that the meteorologists use: satellite equipment, fax equipment, all that.
Wow. Thank you for that. Kept us in business, I guess.
You're,
Did you work
you're welcome.
Did you work for a vendor or the Weather Service?
No, I work for the Navy. I work
Navy,
for the
okay.
the Naval Oceanography Command Center.
Wow. That's fascinating. I love it.
Yeah, I did it in Guam and I did it in Hawaii.
Excellent.
So,
wow. Guam, that's out in the middle of nowhere, but it's very tropical and nice. At least you weren't in like Nome, Alaska.
Yeah.
No, but we actually had a super typhoon come straight across Guam. The eye of it went right across Guam. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting time.
Yeah. So please tell everyone that you don't want to be in the middle of a storm like that. I've been in some that are very close and they get scary, and you don't want to do that supposed brave thing and stand out there and do a live shot. And I never did. I saw a piece of metal go by me one time and it would have taken off my head.
Oh.
So they're scary.
Oh.
Yes, it's very scary. My brother used to use a comment, "When pigs fly." Well, I actually saw pigs fly.
Wow.
So
right out of the movies, huh?
yeah. Yes, it was crazy.
I've interviewed people during my
I
roles.
did have a suggestion.
Go.
I love Peter's episodes that you have, Jerry and Linda, but I have a suggestion because as a new homeowner down there, I want to go back and look at some of those episodes. There's some that I want to look at again because I want to implement some of the things Peter had on your show. The problem is I don't want to look at every single Jerry and Linda YouTube video.
We want you to.
So my suggestion was, if you haven't done it yet, would you be up to creating an index of not just the Peter Bernard sessions, but the Ask Amy sessions, and keep that index running for every time you do something, like just the topic and a link to the video it's in, and put that on your website.
That's a great idea. Linda, would you be open to doing that?
I was going to say she's up for it, right?
That is something I wanted to help Jerry with after we get finished with our wedding and a couple things. So May is get organized, and I will get on that.
I was kidding. I think that's a lot of work.
No, it will be.
Mhm.
It will
I
be.
don't have time.
It's probably a lot of work.
It
Yeah.
will be.
Someday I'm going to compile his best, like all-star.
They're all.
Some of them are kind of, but we'll do the
They're all
best.
good.
We'll put them in a show of their own.
I thought waxing your air conditioning was a good story. I took some heat over that one.
That was funny though. I love
Just
it.
let me put you on hold. There's a question right there that
Am I
says,
related to Carl? I saw it. Yeah.
yeah,
No, but it's funny.
okay. Oh, that was a joke.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh.
We like jokes.
Well, thank you for the.
What
suggestion.
town in Virginia do you live in?
We live in Woodbridge, Virginia. It's 25 minutes south of
I know
DC.
where you live. I've been to your mall quite a few times. It's a very nice mall.
The Potomac Mills.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've been there.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, listen,
Yes.
thank you for
So
calling in. We
originally we're from
appreciate you.
Pennsylvania.
Originally from Pittsburgh.
We
Okay.
moved here 15 years ago from Pennsylvania.
All righty. Well, listen, thank you for
So,
calling, and
anyway.
don't be afraid to go back and rewatch all those videos because it's not only fun, but it's educational.
It's called binge watching. Good luck. Somebody asked a
Yeah.
question. While he's on the line, somebody asked a question. Why do meteorologists get the temperature at the airport? Because there's a gauge there, and a lot of NOAA weather stations are at the airport. But I admit to you, it is kind of silly. In Tampa, the airport is not far from downtown, so it makes sense. But sometimes it's out in some far-flung field somewhere. Who cares what the temperature is at the airport?
Yeah, interesting.
All right. Well, thank you,
Thank you for
and we
calling.
appreciate you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for taking.
Take my call.
We had one of our viewers said that they wax their AC.
I'm
There you
fine.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should always wax your air conditioner. Look, it's an expensive unit. You don't want it becoming rusty out there. Pay
Yeah.
attention to the little nuts and bolts out there. They will rust. So why the heck not?
Yeah.
I thought it was genius, but apparently not.
Yeah, David says we should catalog our bloopers. I'll tell you what the thing is
Catalog bloopers.
with bloopers and Ask Amy and with Bubble Wrap. I sit down and it literally takes me 10, 15 hours to do a show, to edit a show. And when I get to Bubble Wrap, he is a professional, but he sends me a really good product. But I just plug what he sends me into the show. So I don't have a standalone somewhere. I couldn't tell you which episode they're on either. I'll have to go back. But since Linda volunteered, we'll all remember that.
The good news is I think I have the last 10 or 15 on a special file in my computer. So that'll save you some.
Yeah, it'll help.
Very
It'll
good.
help.
Yeah,
Okay,
very
good.
Well, thank you guys for all your great comments here. No, we don't always do the things that Peter suggests. We would like to, and we should. What? And by the way, we're 416 on viewers. Let's get up to 500 tonight.
You would love
It's always good advice, but
I'm insulted.
yeah.
it. You think I'm going to work as hard as you know?
I'm going to check your air conditioner when I leave here.
No.
How about that shower drain? Oh, that's coming up. isn't it?
Oh,
No, the shower drain already ran. That's
Yeah.
this
Johnny Luxury. What a great name. I like that.
luxury.
He says hit that like button. 175, 180.
Look at this
Oh, yeah.
one coming up. Peter's dad, a musician. How do you know? I want to know how you know that. That's true. Yeah. Do they know? We're going to get a response. They might not know. Oh, can I just answer it now?
Sure, I
All right.
want to know.
My dad was the musical director of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and he worked at NBC all the years it was on. I used to hang out in Burbank when they would shoot the show, and I would see people like Artie Johnson and Joanne Worley walking around. I used to go down the hall, and I'd see Hollywood Squares and some of the other soaps down there. Let's Make a Deal was in the same building, so
Wow.
it was kind of, that's why that gave me the bug to get into television. So yeah, he passed away about 4 years ago, but yeah, he was a musician.
You bet your bippy.
Yeah, very good. Remember the fickle finger of fate?
Yes,
I
yes.
have my stepmom has one out in California, and I'm gonna probably grab it and bring it here.
Have that.
Excellent.
You should. Yeah. Well, that's kind of neat.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know
Mhm.
that.
He wrote "What's the News Across the Nation?
Oh.
We've got the information." Remember
Your
that?
dad did that?
My dad. That's
I
that's his
absolutely
song,
do
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Sure do.
This is incredible.
Hey, are you all ready for the second question in our group of three? We're going to give it to you. This is the musical question. Remember, don't put it in the comments, but I like this question. It's going to take a serious musical head to get this one right. All right, here we go. I'm going to read one line of the song. You're going to sing the next two lines. Okay? Check ignition and may God's love be with you. Check ignition, and may God's love be with you. That's number 2. So you've got 2 questions so far. And the first question was?
No, that's for Peter.
I'm trying to remember what the first question was. Oh, which does not belong. And there were red, yellow, blue, or green. That was the first question. All right.
I'm seeing the answer here, and I would not have gotten it. So no way. That has to scroll. Here we go.
Don't cut off our heads.
We're going to make people seasick.
Yeah.
You have a question for Peter? Call us. Doesn't have to be for Peter, but it could be.
This is a question. Don't answer something else.
Hi, you're on the air with Linda, Jerry, and Peter.
I need a question answered from Peter. My
All
name
right.
is John from Sun City, Las Vegas.
Wow.
Sun City or
Hi.
Sin City.
Yes. Highs and lows weather systems go across the country from west to east.
Normally.
What happens once they pass the Atlantic Ocean onto Europe?
Well,
Do they just float around the earth and stay highs and lows, or they just disappear someplace?
usually they wash out, and they're usually associated with a cold front. So usually they'll wash out. We don't care about once it leaves our area, like we don't watch the weather in Montana, but once it leaves Florida, it's gone. There is a semi-permanent high off the Azores Island in the middle of the Atlantic, which helps to guide our hurricanes. And it depends on its positioning, whether or not the hurricanes come towards us or whether or not they're going to be deflected down towards the Bahamas and hopefully even further south than that and become a non-entity. But that Azores high out there is semi-permanent. It does move, and you've also heard of La Nina and El Nino. That also affects our weather here. But as far as the highs and lows, some are semi-permanent. There is what's called a Pacific gyra that's out in the Pacific Ocean, and lows go in a counterclockwise rotation, highs go in a clockwise rotation. So that low also affects our weather, and it is semi-permanent. That's why the water is cold in California, because that water is coming right down from the north, and it's very chilly. That's why I never got in the water when I lived out in California, where you turn your toe purple.
Johnny Luxury says when he would go to Sin City, his grandmother would never get out of the car. She thought it was an evil place.
Oh.
I hate to lose money, so it is evil.
Yeah.
Well, it's starting to get hot here, so
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the pawn shop?
yes,
The
it's
pawn
nothing
shop.
spectacular. People are out there all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our son went to Vegas, and he went to the pawn shop and got on one of their TV shows.
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars. Yeah.
Pawn Stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those folks that are on there, you just don't believe it. I have a hint that a lot of that stuff is staged, Jerry.
Mhm.
I heard they have actually a studio next to the real pawn shop where they shoot most of it. You know anything about that?
No, I don't. I always heard that was just staged in California,
Mhm.
and they do the outside shots
Yeah, I don't know.
from the actual location.
Well, I can prove that was wrong because our son got in on the show right there in Vegas.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Another thing people want to know: does Wayne Newton color his hair?
No, that's natural, dark, coal black.
What an entertainer that guy is! I remember when he was on Bonanza when he was a kid. Does anybody else remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's great. I heard he's a nice guy too.
Somebody's asking about my flying. I haven't flown in a long time. I'm a private pilot. So it was fun when I was single, and I flew my kids around and my wife on occasion. But I don't do it anymore.
Well, John, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll keep watching.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See how nice the people are that watch our show.
Absolutely.
They're always just
And
great.
from all over, they're not necessarily villagers, and I love that too. Yeah.
No. Most of the
Johnny
time.
Luxury, you should start a band. What a name. I love that.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on the air with Linda, Jerry, and Peter Bernard.
Hello, Linda, Jerry, and Peter. It's Mary Louise from North Carolina. How are y'all?
Fine, thank you.
So, Peter, I have a question for you. I just purchased a coil cleaner for my AC unit.
Yeah. It's good.
What do you think? What do you think about that? I'm gonna spray it on. It foams up, and then hose it off.
Yep.
Is that worth it?
I think it is if your air conditioner is old. By the way, I'm no AC specialist, but I used to buy that stuff at my house in Pinellas County because it was an older system. Here, the house I'm in now is 3 years old, so the coil looks like it's brand new, but it can get crudted up with clippings and dirt and stuff and that. I think it's a great idea. I would advise that you cut the power. Usually there's a cutoff switch that's out by your outside condenser, and you can pull that little deal, close the door, then spray it off, and that way there's no chance of you shorting the thing out. There is stuff that you can buy for the inside, but opening up your inside system in the plenum there is a little tricky, and I would leave that to the experts.
Got it. I don't plan to do that, and I know to cut the power off. So, and it's just something I can do. It was an inexpensive way to just take an extra measure, getting ready for the hot days, coming up.
Yeah. Take a look before you do it. You may not need to. If you've got grass clippings and dirt that are kind of lodged in those veins, good idea. And when you spray it off, don't use any amount of pressure, because if you start damaging those veins, there's no fixing them, and it needs to have the airflow.
Right.
It'll build up the pressure if you don't.
All right, good info.
Yeah,
well, thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
I wanted to say that with that adorable voice you have, you should be able to get plenty of men to clean that out for you.
There you go.
Well, there's another story behind that, but I will tell you, I worked phone sales for a little while, and it did work in my favor.
Wow, I bet it did. I love it.
There you go.
Well, thank you for calling in.
Have a great
Thank you for the compliment. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
People are reminded that there's built up electricity in that unit, and to be careful.
Yeah, there's a capacitor in there, so don't take it apart. You can get zapped.
Ooh.
It's like an old TV. Remember those old TVs, those CRTs, the cathode ray tubes? You could unplug it, and you could still get zapped from it later on.
And you watch that little light get dimmer and dimmer
Right,
and dimmer
yeah,
and
yeah.
dimmer when you turn it off.
You just got a compliment on your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
I told somebody today that I used to be the remote control for our TV when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Get up there and turn it, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I do it with my voice now.
We have a contract with an AC company that monitors our thing. I'll tell you more about that later. We were taken to the cleaners one time. Hi, you're on the air with Jerry, Linda, and Peter Bernard.
Hi, Jerry, Linda, and Peter Bernard. How are you?
Good.
Good. John and Judy from San Diego calling. I have a question for Peter. Peter, I saw your show on cleaning the lanai screens.
Okay, I've done a couple.
We're planning on getting a home down there in the Villages in another year or so, and putting a pool and a bird cage up.
Beautiful.
My question is, rather than clean the screens for the bird cage, which is a lot of screen, do people replace them, and how often, or how does that work?
My experience with that is limited. I had what they call a bird cage at my house in Pinellas County, and I never had to replace it. Now, I did have, I yelled at my wife, "We got a breach!" A rat chewed through the bottom of it one time, and I went out there with a needle and some fishing line to patch it up. Wow. But it's expensive. You hire someone to come up and change out your screening, it's very expensive, especially the ones on the top, because they have to take special care not to fall through, or they're going to take a plunge in your pool. So I have not heard of people changing it out. It does have a finite lifespan, and you'll find that it'll get brittle in the sun, and you'll eventually have to change it out. But I think it's pretty long before you're going to get to that point. If you're building a house, don't worry about it.
Right.
Thank you. I was thinking that with the sun being a roof killer there, that the screens would suffer the same damage.
I think you're right, but I think you're not going to have to worry about it.
Okay, well, thank you
Good
guys
deal.
so much, and have a blessed day. Love your show.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye-bye,
calling.
John. Tonight is the night for Johns to call in. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. It's all John.
Yeah.
So if your name's John, give us a buzz.
Give us
Yeah.
a call. So you're surprised, all San Diego, all over.
Yeah.
It's usually people outside of Villages.
Huh. Well, it's because they're curious about what life is like
Yeah.
here. Once you live here for a while, you kind of got it down. I've met a lot of people that watch you guys prior to moving here, and then after they move here, they watch also.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, the cool people do.
I tell them I do this show on here, and they go, "Oh, we watched those guys when we were thinking about moving down here.
Yeah.
They gave us all the information."
yeah.
Well, while we're doing this, we have a little lull in the calls. Tell them your work history. Now, you've been out west and you've been in Florida. What was your best stint?
Tampa, by far. But I've lived in, my first job was Pocatello, Idaho. potatoes, Topeka, Kansas, Albany, New York, St. Louis, Missouri, and 2 stations in Tampa.
Hi, you're on the air with Jerry, Linda, and Peter Bernard.
Hi, Jerry, Linda, Peter, Bernard. It's Sandra calling from Australia.
Oh my goodness.
Yay, Sandra.
She gets the prize.
She does.
Just give her that $50.
We love Sandra. You got a question for us?
I've got a question for Peter. Actually, there was a gentleman called Roger on the chat who asked it, which is, do tornadoes and hurricanes rotate in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere where I live?
Yes. And I know this is kind of crude, but if you watch your toilet after you flush it, it actually goes in the opposite direction. And I believe it's due to the Coriolis effect and the rotation. So you're absolutely right. They do. It's fascinating, isn't it? I was hoping since you're okay, never mind. I used to do a news broadcast for a company in New Zealand across the Tasman from where you are. And it was called Radio Live First at 5. And it was like 1 o'clock for me, but it was 5 a.m. the next day for where I was doing these reports. That was fun.
Radio Live First at 5.
That's what it was. I used to do that voice when they introduced me.
What time do you get there?
Sandra, we're so glad you called in. Now she's on every week, and it's early for her. She just had her breakfast. But it's so nice to hear your voice.
Yes, it was lovely to chat to you. All right, you all take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Sandra.
You weren't kidding.
No.
You weren't kidding. I wonder if she's going to move to the Villages someday.
No.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
It's true. Most of our callers are from outside.
Huh. I don't know if you want to do this later, Jerry, but I have a bunch of stuff about how to prepare your house.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to get into that.
Well, one thing we wanted to talk about tonight was a topic that's come up every week for the past 2 or 3 weeks as the snowbirds, which I say respectfully because we love them, get ready to move for the summer. What do they do to their homes? People want to know, what should we do? And there's a list, and we even talked to one of the people that has a home watch business that goes around and checks people's home every week while they're gone. And we weren't able to get him on the show, but Peter has some thoughts for you.
Well, I have some jotted down here, and I invite the viewers to call in with what they have, because I'm sure that they've come up with some others. I think it's important to make your house look lived in. And to do that, you can either buy cheapo timers with turn your lights on and off at kind of random times, or like I have automated stuff and it's a little more expensive, but so you can make it so that they just come on so that somebody who's looking at your house and casing your place. And I don't think that's a huge problem here in the Villages, but it's just nice to know that your lights are on and off and not just a dark house sitting in that neighborhood, which I think is a beacon to bad people that want to break in. Okay? Agreed on that?
Yeah.
The other thing I would suggest is if you want to turn off your water, you can. However, I would suggest that you turn off your water heater first, especially if you have tankless, because if it runs without water going through, I think that you're looking for damage. If you don't do that, especially your washer, and a lot of those they have braided hoses, which are really good, but some people have the old-fashioned hoses. And if they burst and you're not there to see it, oh my God, your house is going to flood. And when you get back, it's going to look really bad. It's going to look like Lake Sumter. So not good. So I would say turn off the water if you want to, but at least make sure that you turn off the water on your washer. I would also unplug your appliances, things like computers and clocks. You're not using them. And a lot of them, you're going to save money too, because they have what's called phantom drain. So there's a lot of appliances out there. You unplug it, you're going to get a lower utility bill for doing so. Another good tip is some people say, I'm going to turn off my AC. Don't do it. You'll come home to a house full of mold. We live in Florida and it's very humid, and that humidity is going to get right in. So that's just a few.
That's great. A great reminder. We go away for a week or two at a time once in a while, and you can tell if you raise your temperature, you can tell when you come in that it's not been, there hasn't been ventilation for the past couple of weeks.
Nothing moving.
And so I couldn't imagine what would happen over the course of a summer.
Yeah.
If you turned off, it would be musty. You would have growth, like he said, of mold.
I think it's important to stop your mail or forward your mail. If sometimes you get those newspapers that you don't subscribe to and they show up in your drive.
Yes.
Here's the most, this is the thing that I'm going to drive home the most. if you have everyone's got a trusted neighbor. Here in the villages, we got trusted neighbors everywhere. Find one that you really trust that will just keep an eye on your place. If one of those papers gets there and a bad guy goes by, he's going to go, they didn't pick up their paper this morning. And now if there's 4 in your driveway, I think I'm going to try that house.
Yeah.
Have someone pick up your paper. Make sure that your grass stays mowed. The CDDs around here are going to come after you if you don't.
Right.
But if you have all those things taken care of, make your house look like you're not really home, that you are home, and don't telegraph that you've left.
Yes.
Linda has a little game she plays when we drive around in the golf cart. There's snowbirds.
Mhm.
Those
Yeah.
are snowbirds.
Yeah.
Because she can tell by your lanai, the furniture's all in, the house is
And you'll
dark.
see weeds growing.
Yep.
We always have a debate when we go somewhere. I want to leave some lights on or put them on timers,
Mhm.
and I want to make the home appear unpredictable. And she never wants me to leave a light on.
Well-
She's afraid it'll catch on fire like all these lights do every once in
They're
a while.
LEDs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like-
I don't know. We don't have any on timers though. We don't have a timer. You just wanted to leave a light on. I said, well, that's just, I don't know.
they're really
But
inexpensive.
they're LEDs, so yeah, I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah.
One thing my wife and I do, and I'll bet you guys do it too. When you go on vacation, do you make the house really spick and span
Yeah.
so that when you come
Yeah.
back, you don't have to vacuum, you don't have to mop, everything's nice and clean. The
Yes.
kitchen is we do it every single
We
time.
do too.
Same reason we wear clean underwear when we go out.
Okay.
You
we
do?
Oh, so,
Remember when your mom used to insist?
Mhm.
yeah. You never know when you're going to get in the
Hi,
rain.
Darlene and Barry. Glad you're with us.
Here's a question. You've got a gas golf car in the garage and you're going to be gone for 3 months. Do you fill it? I'd like to know from an expert what you do. I'm going to say you fill it because you don't want those fumes in there because gasoline goes bad.
And they have a preservative you can add.
Yeah, right.
Hi, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda and Peter Bernard.
Hello, Jerry and Linda and Peter Bernard. This is Daphne Davidson, and my husband is on his way home right now. We watch your show all the time. We are from Nashville, Tennessee, and we're coming down for our second lifestyle visit later this year, ready to buy and come see you guys.
Oh,
Excellent.
wonderful.
They're going to probably put you
We
down
were-
in Well Point for your lifestyle visit, and it's beautiful down there.
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. When we came down last fall, we were looking for you guys. We didn't get to see you though.
Oh,
We just had a great time. So we went to the squares, listened to the live music, and rode that little golf cart everywhere. Rode our bikes. It was just so much fun, and we can't wait to come down and see you guys. So I really didn't have a question. I just wanted to say hello because we never get to see your show live. So this is my first time to be able to catch it live, so I couldn't wait to call in.
Well, thank you.
So,
And
just-
you sound delightful.
yes.
Well, thank you. We are fun. We can't wait to have fun with you guys.
I want her as my neighbor.
I know,
Yeah,
me
she
too.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling, Daphne. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great evening. If it's not great, change it.
We will do that.
They're going to probably put her at Well Point, and that's right next to the new.
She'll be a greeter.
That'll be the new street of Dreams is right next door. So it's beautiful. They've got like 41 model houses, and you can arrange to go through them with a realtor. Love it.
Are you ready for the third question? We're going to give this prize away.
We got more.
$50 gift card to, we're going to stay on after the question.
Okay.
We'll stay on a little bit. This is a tough one. How many years were between the Wright brothers' first flight and Neil Armstrong walking on the moon?
Yikes.
That's the third one, and we'll take the first correct caller at that number right there. At that number.
Over.
No, Google's working overtime
No,
right
yeah.
now.
You shouldn't be able to work Google. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Jay says, man, walked on the moon?
He's questioning it, huh?
Hey, Walton. Uh-oh, is this
We got
Walton?
a caller. Okay, there's questions.
Hi, you're on the air with Jerry, Linda, and Peter. Are we here to answer the riddles?
Yes, I am.
All right, who's calling?
Joy from Wisconsin.
Oh, is it Joy and Chuck?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. See, they're long. We learn our viewers. Now, these are the Scaddons. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Well, I'm anxious to hear you sing, Joy. Here's the first riddle.
That's
Which-
not good. My husband told me I shouldn't sing in public.
All right.
Okay.
It's just between
The
us.
Which does
first
not
answer
belong?
is
Hey, Joy, Joy,
green.
keep your pants on, Joy.
Oh, I do. I have them on.
All right, I get to ask the questions here. Which does not belong? Red, yellow, blue, or green?
Green.
That is correct because the others are.
Primary colors.
Yes, ma'am. You put blue and yellow together to get green.
Green.
Very good. 1 point. Check ignition and may God's love be with you.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear.
Yes,
Now
ma'am. That
it's
is
time
correct.
to leave the capsule if you dare.
Congratulations. You got that? And now the third question, which has derailed many a potential prize winner. Okay. How many
Okay,
years were between the Wright brothers' first flight and Neil Armstrong walking on the moon?
66.
66 is correct. Come on, everybody. Put it together for us.
Woo!
And put it together for Chuck, because we know behind every successful woman, there's a man.
That's true.
Good job. And you're going to have
Thank
a $50 gift card to Lowe's. We'll mail it to you, or you can get it when you come here. But send us an email with your mailing address, and Linda will get that right out to you.
That's my job.
That's her
You'll
job.
get this.
Well, congratulations, Joy.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy your wedding.
Okay,
Sounds
thank
like
you.
it'll be a good time.
Yes, ma'am. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. But
Terrific.
Wow.
You ever heard that song?
Of course.
This is ground control to Major Tom. I love that. It's David Bowie.
Yeah, yeah.
How many of you knew that? Raise your hand. Oh, look, quite a few of them knew. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, where are we here? Let's see.
Other stuff about leaving your house for
Okay.
a period of time.
Peter has
I would
some more.
say don't post that you're leaving on the internet. Don't advertise it. I remember one time
Guilty.
my wife and I were going on a cruise, and my son wrote in the driveway in big letters, "Going on vacation," in chalk. So before we went on our trip, I was out there with a hose getting rid of the "going on vacation." It might as well have been, "Why don't you rob this house?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you could have someone stay in your home when you go away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Plus, like with all the cameras that we have and the Ring doorbells, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's we feel pretty good.
I don't want to be on St. Martin looking at my cameras and saying, "Hey, can you not take my TV, please?"
Yeah.
Did you ever go to that Maho Beach there,
No.
where the airplanes fly
Oh,
in?
I've heard about it.
Right
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
you. Oh, it's
No,
so
the video. There's videos on YouTube all
Yeah, I love that. I love to see
Yes,
that.
yes.
What else? Anything else?
Let's see. Secure yard items. You don't know if there's going to be a storm going when
That's
you're
right.
away.
Yeah.
I would say empty your dishwasher. It's kind of like the cleanup stuff around the house.
Mhm.
Clean. Forward your mail. Empty all trash cans. It's kind of common sense stuff. I think there's a lot of what we call snowbirds, affectionately, that leave for a period of time,
Mhm.
and they should know some of these things. And I would say make a checklist so you don't forget when you
Yeah.
are halfway to the airport. Halfway home to
Yeah.
go. You don't want to say, "Hey, did you turn off the stove? Did
Yeah.
you turn?" No, you need a checklist.
Yeah.
It's like an airplane.
Yes.
Flaps.
Right.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good. Very good advice. If you have any further suggestions, write them in, and we'll pass them on to Peter. We'll keep a list too, because we love to compile this stuff and bring it to you later when it's applicable again a year from now.
Well, there's a bubble wrap coming up, and it was suggested by 2 of your viewers.
Okay,
I don't know if you put that
Nice.
show together yet,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's coming up.
I sure did.
Oh, good.
All right. Before we leave you tonight, I want to tell you that we need your questions. So be sure to send them in either for us or for Peter. You send them into villagesnewcomers@gmail.com. We will forward that over to him, and we'll use some on our show every week. We try to answer about 8 questions a week, plus a viewer video question, which we need those too. So if you're gutsy, like some of these people are, they call in, go ahead and put that camera on a tripod or have your significant other hold that camera, and you read the question, send it in, and we'll put it in line to be on our show. So that's a lot of fun.
Some of the comments I see whirling by here, I'm glad you're not reading them.
Yeah. They know they'll get a little rise. It's at least they're not filthy.
I don't know.
And at the end of every show, we show pictures of friends of our channel. If you're our friend, send your picture in. Let's see who we have here. You want to answer this one?
Sure.
Hello.
Turn down your TV.
Hello?
Hello.
There you go.
Hi, this is Peggy and Clark from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Hi,
How
Peggy.
you doing?
Hi. We love your show. We watch it all the time. We're looking forward. We're coming down for our first lifestyle visit in about 4 weeks.
Excellent. Bring your swim trunks.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, you live in a
55,
vacation paradise yourself.
community now, but my husband says, what do you say, Clark? People come here to die where we're living at in South Carolina. There's no activity, so we're looking forward to it.
Okay.
There's more than 3,200 clubs here. If you can't find something to do here, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Do you have coconuts up there?
No, no coconuts.
Okay.
We've got alligators, hot weather,
Yeah.
just like y'all do.
Okay, wonderful. Well, listen, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
When you get down here, let us know what you thought of it.
Oh, I sure will. I'm sure will. We eventually want to move there.
Well, thank you for calling in, Peggy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we love your show. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
My realtor told me when I
Bye.
was on my lifestyle, if you don't use at least a quarter tank of gas in that golf cart, I know you didn't drive around enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we tell
They put gas in golf carts?
them.
Yeah, I know. It's an odd thing.
We have the electric now too, and we have a gas golf cart, but we love riding an electric. By the way, we have a $500 coupon off of an Easy Go electric that's good until September. If anybody needs one, write into the Newcomers at gmail.com, and we'll send it to you. And it's good on an Easy Go. I want to thank Lowe's for that $50 gift card we're giving out tonight, and thank Greg Pangen for making it possible with our phone-in segment. And of course, wonderful thanks to this guy right here, Mr. Bubble Wrap.
You guys are so friendly. I love it.
Round of applause.
It's my new family right
That's
here.
how we said in kindergarten. Round of applause. Round of applause.
So Linda has something she'd like to say.
What? If you liked. Oh, if you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with all your friends,
Thumbs
neighbors,
up.
and relatives. Put just some thumbs up there. Until next time.
See you when you get here.
Now,
Hey, I got to do it too.
now's the awkward time when I have to slide my hand up here
And turn the
and
end
end the stream.
Bye,
And
400 people.
it still doesn't end until we do that. So
That's it.
We
So
didn't
we
get